So let's go deeper on this pseudo productivity. Why do we have this definition of productivity backwards? And what is triggering this pseudo productivity in general?
Management had been invented for factories, which said a small number of people will figure out the best way to do something. They'll break it down into steps, and then they'll tell you, the worker, what steps to do. And then they will watch you to make sure you do that step. So it was very centralized. Peter Drucker, who coined the term knowledge work in the early 1950s, he said, look, this is very different. It's high-skilled and creative and autonomous. You can't break down knowledge work into an assembly line. You can't say, here's the 10 steps and you're doing step 7. And he really preached, you got to give a lot of autonomy to the knowledge worker. They kind of just going to have to figure out on their own how they do their work. Well, this was a problem for the managers because they say, well, what do we manage? How do we manage them? The solution they came up with was pseudo productivity, which said we will just use visible activity as a proxy for useful effort. In other words, the busier you seem, the more valuable we'll assume you are. And that became the standard by which we began to manage knowledge work. If we need to be more productive, come early, stay late. It was just trying to roughly translate me seeing you do something is how I'm going to assume that you're creating value. That was pseudo productivity, and it emerged in like the 1950s and 60s as a band-aid to the problem of we don't really know what to measure or how to manage people who are working with their brains.